World War II. Introduction. World War II was a global conflict that began on September 1, 1939, with Germany's invasion of Poland, and ended on September 2, 1945, with Japan's official surrender. It stands as the deadliest and most destructive war in human history, involving over 70 countries and affecting more than 100 million people directly. The war claimed the lives of over 60 million individuals. This conflict was not merely a military struggle, it was a collision of ideologies, economic interests, imperial ambitions, and racial policies. The main opposing forces were the Axis powers as Germany, Italy, and Japan. The Allied powers as primarily the United Kingdom, France, the Soviet Union, the United States, and China. The roots of the war trace back to the aftermath of World War I, particularly the harsh terms of the Treaty of Versailles imposed on Germany, the economic devastation caused by the Great Depression, and the rise of totalitarian regimes. In Germany, Adolf Hitler and the Nazi Party rose to power with a fascist, ultranationalist, and racist ideology that would soon threaten global stability. Development. (1939 to 1941). The outbreak of war and Axis expansion. On September 1, 1939, Germany invaded Poland after signing a secret non-aggression pact as the Molotov-Ribbentrop Pact with the Soviet Union to divide the territory. In response, the United Kingdom and France declared war on Germany, marking the official start of World War II. Germany quickly overran Poland using the Blitzkrieg, lightning war, strategy. In 1940, Germany invaded Denmark and Norway, then turned westward, defeating France in just 6 weeks. Paris fell, and France was divided. The north came under German occupation, while the south was governed by the collaborationist Vichy regime. During this period, Nazi Germany began implementing its internal policies of racial persecution. Jews, Roma, the disabled, homosexuals, and political dissidents were systematically targeted. The Nuremberg Laws of 1935 stripped Jews of their rights, laying the legal groundwork for what would become the Holocaust, the systematic genocide of European Jewry. 1941 to 1943. U.S. entry into the war and turning points. On December 7, 1941, Japan attacked the U.S. naval base at Pearl Harbor, prompting the U.S. to enter the war against Japan and the Axis powers. This transformed the war into a truly global conflict. 1942 marked key turning points. In the Pacific, the Battle of Midway halted Japanese expansion. In North Africa, the Allies began to push back Axis forces. Most significantly, in the Soviet Union, the Battle of Stalingrad ended in a major Soviet victory in 1943. It was breaking the momentum of the German advance on the Eastern Front. Meanwhile, in Nazi-occupied Eastern Europe, death camps such as Auschwitz-Birkenau were established to carry out mass executions. Between 1941 and 1945, approximately 6 million Jews were murdered by the Nazi regime. This genocide, known as the Holocaust, remains one of the most horrific and systematic crimes in human history. 1943 to 1945. The Axis retreats and Allied victory. In 1943, Italy's fascist government collapsed, and the country switched sides to join the Allies. Germany was now forced to fight on multiple fronts. The Soviet Union launched a massive counteroffensive in the east, while the Western Allies prepared to invade Nazi-held Western Europe. On June 6, 1944, the D-Day landings in Normandy, France, opened up a Western front. American, British, and Canadian forces began to liberate occupied Europe. By 1945, Soviet forces were closing in on Berlin from the east while Western forces advanced from the west. On April 30, 1945, Adolf Hitler committed suicide in his bunker in Berlin. On May 8, 1945, Germany officially surrendered. It is a day commemorated as Victory in Europe Day. As the Allies liberated territories, they discovered Nazi concentration and extermination camps. The surviving victims, and the mass graves left behind, revealed the full extent of the Holocaust. These discoveries shocked the world and exposed the Nazi regime's atrocities to humanity. Although the war ended in Europe, fighting continued in the Pacific. Japan refused to surrender, prompting the United States to drop atomic bombs on Hiroshima on August 6, 1945 and Nagasaki on August 9, 1945. On August 15, Japan announced its surrender, and the war officially ended on September 2, 1945. Conclusion. World War II brought about profound political, social, and economic changes worldwide. The United Nations was established in 1945 to promote global peace and cooperation. Germany was divided into East and West, with Europe itself split between the Soviet-controlled Eastern Bloc and the democratic Western nations. The Cold War soon followed, as tensions rose between the US and the Soviet Union. The Holocaust revealed the dangers of unchecked hatred and totalitarianism. Approximately 6 million Jews were killed in what remains the largest genocide in modern history. In response, international laws regarding human rights and crimes against humanity were strengthened. Totalitarian regimes in Germany, Italy, and Japan were dismantled, leading to democratization efforts. Anti-colonial movements accelerated, eventually leading to decolonization and independence for many countries in Africa, Asia, and the Middle East. Final words. World War II was not just a military conflict, but a battle of ideologies and values. The Holocaust in particular demonstrated how dangerous extremist ideologies can be when combined with absolute power. The war reshaped the modern world, setting the stage for contemporary international relations. Above all, it served as a stark reminder of the value of peace, the fragility of human rights, and the importance of remembering history to prevent its darkest chapters from being repeated.